Black Panther Wakanda Forever is directed once again by Ryan Coogler, stars Letita Wright, Angela Bassett, Tenoch Huerta, Dominic Thorne, and the legend himself, who isn't in the movie much, but I've got to credit him anyway, Chadwick Boseman. And in the emotional sequel to the original Black Panther, Wakanda is still trying to recover from the loss of King T'Challa after he died of a mysterious illness. On top of that, a mysterious new colony is threatening to wage war on them and the surface world. Now, this movie had some amazingly bad luck. It's shocking. The lead actor died in 2020. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Still can't believe he's dead. The script was written before he died, so it was completed, so they had to rewrite that. Plus, this whole pandemic came up. Everything just went wrong for this film. But finally, we have it. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is finally out. And wow, did I love this film. For me personally, this is the best Phase 4 project. And it's the end of Phase 4 now. We're moving on to Phase 5 with the holiday special of Guardians of the Galaxy next month. And wow, what a way to end this phase. I was very intrigued to see how they would write this film. And thankfully, the story is written amazingly. And they respect Chadwick Boseman's legacy fantastically. The movie does his in-universe death very well. There's no big reason like, oh, he's died from cancer poisoning or whatever. It's an unknown death. It's respectful. And we have a nice funeral at the start of the film as well. And just a quick note as well, when I watched this in the theatre, fully packed cinema, by the way, I couldn't find a single spare seat. When the coffin went up in the air, small spoiler, sorry, we all did the Wakanda Forever symbol, and just a great moment. One of the best cinema experiences I've had in a while, probably since Spider-Man No Way Home. But this movie is an emotional roller coaster. You will laugh, you will cry, and the emotional scenes are done very well. As I said, I have been critical of Marvel's humour recently. I do feel like they've just been pushing in too many jokes, especially in some emotional scenes. I think the most notorious one is in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, having this big emotional fight, and then we just throw in this random joke. And it just does not fit at all. But in this film, the emotional scenes are there, and they are emotional. There's no hidden joke or anything that's going to be coming up. It's very well done. There is jokes in the movie, there is comedy, and it works. It works. I think this is funnier than Thor Love and Thunder, which I don't care what anyone says. I like that movie. But the jokes actually do work in this film. But I think the biggest task this movie had was making Shuri's arc to becoming the new Black Panther believable and satisfying. After all, she was only a side character in the original, so I was very interested but kind of worried to see how they would do it. But they wrote it so well. Her arc about dealing with her grief and loss after the passing of her brother is done so well. It's amazingly written, and I can't wait to see where her story goes in the future of the MCU. This film is also elevated by some amazing performances. Letita Wright is fantastic again as Shuri. I think she's great as this character. And I think what really helps this film is that the actors in real life are hurting. So they bring it into the film and it hits you as well. Angela Bassett, though, is the standout. This is her career best performance for me. She's good in the first Black Panther, but she just elevates it in this film. You could tell they wanted to make this film for Chadwick. And it really shows. And I just love everyone's performance in this film. Even Dominic Thorne as Ironheart. She's actually made me really excited for her show now. If you saw my rankings of the upcoming Marvel projects, you know that show was ranked pretty low. But it's gone up a bit now. I am actually really excited to see what she does in the future of the MCU. Tenoch Huerta, who plays Namor the Submariner, our villain of this movie, is great as well. And Namor is no Killmonger. He's not Killmonger in this film. He is a good villain, though. I think his backstory is a little bit flawed. I'll get into that in a sec. But his backstory is good enough overall. His motivation on a level made sense. But overall, I think he was a great villain, great motivation. And I understand his reasonings, again, to a certain extent. The special effects in this are also amazing. Of course, there's going to be those few shots that are a bit fake. But I couldn't really find much in this film. I think the best standout of the effects was the water. The water effects look absolutely fantastic. They did not look fake at all. The water looked like it comes straight out of the ocean. It looked beautiful. The action as well is done very well. I've always been critical of quick cuts and shaky cam. I think it's some of the worst way to film and edit action. But it works here. It's done right. You can tell what's going off. It's not giving me a flipping migraine. I know what's going off. And the action is so good in this film. The first fight scene got me so pumped. And the final action scene was so well done as well. Loads of emotion. And the choreography in this is amazing as well. I also really did like the music. I'm not really a big fan of Rihanna's music. I don't think she's a bad singer or anything. It's just not my sort of music. But her song Lift Me Up is amazing. The credits rolling and her singing that song, it really just ended the film on a nice note before the mid-credit scene. Speaking of that, this film has my favourite Marvel mid-credit scene. Again, it was a nice way to honour Chadwick Boseman. Sorry again for spoiling it. No, I'm not going to spoil it fully. I'm just giving you a fair warning. But there's no teaser of a big in-universe event. It's just there to respect Chadwick's legacy. And it made me cry. And everyone clapped after that scene. And by the way, there's only a mid-credit scene in this. No post-credit scene. Just that one scene. As for flaws, the villain Namor is the most flawed thing in this film. He's a good villain. Don't get me wrong. He's a good villain. But it's just his flashbacks don't really make his motivation completely understandable. I understand to an extent why he wants to wage war on the surface world, but it's just not enough for me, the flashbacks that are shown. And by the way, there's a lot of flashbacks in this film, and they did get a little bit overwhelming for me. So Namor was a bit over the top for me, and this is another small spoiler, but they say that Namor's army is as powerful as the Wakandans, and it's never really shown. The only thing that I can really tell was as powerful was these really cool water bombs. And yeah, they're cool, they're very powerful, but that's it. There's nothing really much. They have these breathing masks and these Wakandan spears, but that's not really as powerful as Wakanda in my opinion. So overall, Wakanda Forever does have a bit of a over-the-top villain to me. But I really did like this film. This is my favourite Phase 4 project as a whole. Better than Spider-Man No Way Home to me. It has amazing characters, fantastically written character arcs, some fantastic emotion, amazing tributes to Chadwick Boseman, some great action, some fantastic music, the special effects look amazing, and I forgot to mention the cinematography. This is one of the best shot Marvel movies in my opinion. There's some amazing shots. You've seen some in the trailer. And boy, does this film look beautiful to look at. Top that off with an amazing post-credit scene, an amazing tune by Rihanna, and great music as a whole. Wakanda Forever is one of my favourite movies of the year, and one of my favourite movies of the MCU. So I'm going to give Black Panther Wakanda Forever a very, very solid 9 out of 10. I really did love this film. Its villain was a little bit wonky, but apart from that, I had an amazing time with this film and one of the best cinema experiences I've ever had. But guys, that is it for this review. Next time we're going to be ranking all the Phase 4 Marvel projects. And I mean all of them. Iron Groot, Werewolf by Night, all of them. So make sure to look out for that. It's going to take a hell of a long time to do. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave your opinions on Wakanda Forever in the comments. Have a good day, and see you later.